Hey guys, been a long time in coming, but I'm back on the layout again tonight, and what I'm going to do this evening is to start laying some of this foam. So I wanted to show you a modification to a device that Derek Glass and I use. It's called a trammel. I apologize if there's background noise. I've got a fan on in here, so if it's too bad, we'll have to dub over the audio. But anyway, what this is just 3 yardsticks from Lowe's, and I've got holes drilled in here every inch up along the center piece. They're attached here at the back at the 1-inch mark with a nut and bolt, and so they're marked from 22 to 34-inch radius, which is what I can get on this. And the other thing I've done is in the end of the 2 outer pieces, I have a hole drilled in the very end, and there's another hole drilled back at 18 inches for these nails to shoot through. And the reason for that is to help hold the trammel in place while I'm moving the centerpiece to draw the radius. And what I'm doing for the pen is I have a Sharpie here, and I've drilled a hole large enough for the Sharpie to stick through if you force it through, and it leaves the point sticking out, probably 1/8 of an inch or so. But you know, obviously plenty enough room, space through there to draw a line. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to start laying the foam on the peninsula here, and the reason for that is I want to get as large a radius on this peninsula as possible. So I thought I would start here and then kind of build back the peninsula from this point. There are, if you remember the plan, which I don't have up here right now, but the plan has some tapering that occurs back along both sides of the peninsula. So I just wanted to fit this piece in here first and then sort of build off of it. So enough about that. What I'd like to do is to try and get, if I can, a 28-inch radius here. So the way this works is I'm going to be placing it here at the back side of this foam. Actually, I'm going to have to get another piece to do this because I need to move the trammel back. So I'll have to get another piece of foam to put back here so that I've got something to attach the pins into, the nails, because this piece is only 24 inches wide. I could try dragging this back, but then I don't have anything to hold the edges. So let me do that and then we'll resume. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is, I don't know if you can see me, I may be out of the shot, but the foam is tongue and groove, so I have the have the edges there, connected with the tongue and groove, and I want to get back here just to make sure where my 26-inch radius is going to fall. It's going to fall right in here, and I need to move it this way a hair. So that should pretty well have me squared away. So I'm going to take a nail, I'm going to anchor this end of the trammel, and I'm going to anchor this other end of the trammel. And I apologize, let me see if I can reach the camera here and turn it a bit. So hopefully I'll be in the shot now. So what I'm going to do is take the pen and I'm going to insert it at 26 inches. And this gives me the flexibility to move this back and forth a bit, even though it's anchored there. So I can come right out near the edge of my foam so as to not waste much of it and set it down. So what this will do is, with the 28-inch end of it here, I can see it's just a hair past the end of the peninsula here, which is fine. And The same thing over here, 26 inches is about a ½ inch from the end. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this line on here. So you can see it does a fairly nice job of doing that. So there's one side of it, and I'll come back here. And bring it around this way. So what that's going to do with this edge here is going to put the cork fairly close to the edge. So I may have to come in just a hair when I lay the cork on here. But anyway, this is a nice, good solid guideline for me. So I can continue this on around. Take my pen out. Swing the end of my trammel around here. And I can pin this end here, which is going to hold that in place. And I can continue to draw my line around to about there. There's a bit of an S curve on the plan here, so it's going to come around and then hit back the other direction. But now I'm going to swing it around to the other side and do the same thing. So obviously when you're moving the ends that are pinned, you only want to take one end out at a time so that you can repin it back in the same location without having the trammel sliding all over the foam. So as I slide through here, let me unpin this section, slide this over. And what you can do, I don't know if I can still see me or not, but keeping the radius is true, I can put the 26 from the other leg of the trammel here on my line and pin it back here. And then I know that my radius is consistent. So on this edge of the plan, the curve comes a long way around and it shoots kind of on an angle back that direction. So I'm thinking probably about there should be good. All right, so the next step is to cut the foam, and I'm going to excuse me for the throat. I'm going to clamp this board down to the sub road bed here with some clamps, and then just use a utility knife to cut this. It's only 1 inch foam. So with my beveled edges here, it works very well to keep the foam connected. So I'm going to do that. All right, so all I'm doing now is I'm going to clamp foam to the bench work so that it doesn't slide while I cut. Just using some quick grip clamps here. So obviously you don't want to put a clamp that you're going to cut. So let's see, it looks like this one's going to have to go here. And I should be able to get another one here. Okay, so back side. I have my knife. I'm just going to make a cut here. And what I want to do off of this end is just sort of cut straight. Because I'm not sure exactly where this is going to hit. I'm going to kind of freehand this around the curve, try and leave as much as I can. Obviously I don't want to cut on the line because that's the radius for the track center. once I get this roughly cut and installed, I can come back and trim it up if need be. And I apologize if I'm out of the shot. So having those tongue and groove edges here works really well because it's keeping everything together. So let me jump over here and make this final cut. I'm gonna angle the camera again, hopefully without knocking it over. Okay. All right, so hopefully this should be cut fairly well through. It looks like it is. I'm gonna make sure while I'm on this end. All right, so this piece should be free. Snaps right off. I'll set this over here. I'm going to insert that again, reclamp this edge. Swap over here and break this off. If I am out of the shot, I apologize. Just trying to keep most of the areas of interest in the shot here. All right, so there's part number 2. And the last corner. All right. There we go. So now I'm just going to put this together, move it out towards the edge, and make sure that it's going to be the right size for the end of this peninsula. What I may end up doing is actually using the blue line as the outside edge of the cork. It'll give me probably a ½ an inch at minimum clearance between the cork and the edge of the peninsula. So this is about where it's going to fit. So sorry for all the maneuvering, but I just want to see how close I am. These areas of masonite that you see sticking out here, those will be trimmed off. The bench work comes to, I don't know, about 3-4 inches here. So I'll trim this masonite back to where it hits the edge of the benchwork, and then I can fill in the edges here with the foam. And then from here, I'm going to continue to lay foam this way. But obviously that's easy because it's a straight shot. It's a little bit narrower than 4 feet down through there. It's probably around 3 actually. So I can, my foam, I have cut 24-inch widths, so I can place a couple of them in there and then trace along the edge underneath the foam, pick it up and cut it. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to film the rest of that because it's just going to be placing the foam on there, drawing a line on the underside and cutting it. So I'll come back and show you the rest of that and the results. All right, guys. I've got the first 2 sections of foam in down here. I don't know if you can tell or not. Up here where the circle for the end of the peninsula meets the edges of the foam, the masonite kind of lops over. Let me grab the camera and kind of show that to you. This masonite right here is extending past the benchwork, which I think you can see there. So I'm going to trim that now that I know where things fit. I will have to put a little piece of foam in here in the corner, but not a big deal. Same with on this side. Here you can see the edge of the benchwork where that clamp is, and I'll have to trim this as well. So once that's all trimmed, I'll fill in whatever's left with some foam, and I'll be good to go. So while I have the opportunity, I'm going to keep applying foam to the sub roadbed here and see how much I can get done tonight. I've purchased 4 4x8 sheets, so I've used basically probably 2.5. You can see all the scrap sitting down there at the edge, but it's not really scrap. I'll be able to trim it and use it somewhere else. All right, guys, here's the as far as I can go tonight. I ran out of product. I need to get 1 more sheet of styrofoam. Sorry for the camera movement. I'm holding it up in the air so you can see. I've got a few boxes stacked there, but I've got got the blue foam the whole way down to the end, except for this one piece that I may do that before I quit for this evening. I've got enough to do that all along the wall, back over there, and into the corner. So you can see that there are pieces in there. That section of railroad is going to be primarily town. I think they're right at the corner there where it kind of cuts back in. That's where my passenger station goes. So the majority of that entire side there is going to be covered with cork sheeting. So you won't see any of those spaces. I won't have to fill them in. So once I get this glued down with liquid nails and covered with cork, we'll be good to go. So I've got, again, down into the corner, my whack going across the bridge, and this one little piece right here. And I don't have enough little chunks left over to do that. But so anyhow, I guess that's it for this evening. Appreciate your watching.